Ooh, you got a bit of a dirty mouth there, buddy. Here, why don't I wash your mouth out with this? Hey everyone, this is Rob Newsblaw Animation Bliss, and welcome to another Band Episodes Corner. So today's band episode we talk about today is Rude Removal from Dexter's Laboratory. And I can't really use the original image with Dee Dee giving the finger at Dexter showing off his butt cheeks to the audience because YouTube is going to go cop on me. But before we get into this episode, here are a few words from the channel.
Hey guys, if you want to check out more content from this channel, then tune in every Sunday and Monday for new videos. And if you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean there was a bit of animated news that we wanted to talk about. So those would be considered special videos. And if you want to chat with us on social media or see when new videos are being released, then follow us through Twitter and Facebook. And also please feel free to join our new Facebook group, Chat with Animation Bliss, where we talk about animation with other animation fans. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program.
So Rude Removal is about Dexter building a machine where he has a setup where he can remove rudeness from people, and he wanted to use this machine on Dee Dee to remove her rudeness, but then he and Dee Dee ended up getting into a fight and they accidentally went into the Rude Removal machine, and the machine ended up taking out their rudeness and made Dexter and Dee Dee polite, but at the same time they ended up creating clones of themselves which are much ruder than they are, and also the clones curse, and I'll get more into that later on. But anyway, the rude clones then go up to Dexter's mom and started being rude towards her and started messing up her cooking, and this angers Dexter's mom, and so the rest of the episode spent on the polite clones trying to find a way to get their rude clones back into the machine so they could get back to normal. So what are my thoughts about this episode? Well, I have to say this. Wow. I never really expected this episode to actually exist. Like, when I first heard about this episode and people were like talking about how controversial this episode was, I was like, nah, there could be an episode of Dexter's Laboratory where Dexter and the cast were cursing like crazy. And then I finally looked up the episode and I was like, oh my god, this actually happened. This episode actually existed. There's actually an episode where Dexter and Dee Dee are dropping F-bombs like crazy, and I was like, how in the world did this episode exist in the first place? Especially since Dexter's Laboratory is mostly a kids show, so how in the world would a kids show have characters dropping F-bombs like crazy? So yeah, I will admit that I was really surprised when I first saw this episode, and I was like, how in the world are they dropping F-bombs like crazy, and somehow this episode still got made despite the fact that this is a kids show. So I will admit that I was really interested with this episode because of that, and I was trying to figure out why it was banned. Well, aside from the fact that we see Dee Dee giving the finger to the audience and Dexter showing his butt cheeks, those are warning signs that, yeah, this episode's going to be banned. But then I saw the episode and they're like cursing like crazy, and I was like, oh, I see why this episode was banned. But then at the same time, it's like, well, why did this episode get made in the first place? So that's my thoughts about this episode. Mostly, it's like, how did this episode get made? And actually, it's kind of hilarious to see all these characters you grew up loving as kids, and you see them cursing like crazy. And that's the reaction I got from this episode, because I was like, oh, I'm hearing characters like Dexter and Dee Dee cursing like crazy. How did this happen? So that's the reaction I got from this episode. So do I think that this episode should have gotten banned? Well, it's kind of complicated. Like, again, I never thought that this episode would exist because this episode uses a lot of language, and that was something I never expected from the show. And at the same time, I'm wondering how this episode even existed in the first place. So it's kind of hard for me to say if this episode should have been banned or not, because why I don't believe in episodes getting banned at all. It is kind of strange that this episode got made in the first place, especially when this is a show geared towards children. So I'll let you guys decide in the comments down below. Do you think this episode should have got banned or not? Or do you think this episode is really hilarious? But overall, I did enjoy Dexter's Rude Removal. I did think it was a strange episode for the creators to be making, especially since this is a show that's geared towards kids and you have these characters cursing like crazy. And yet at the same time, it's a very interesting piece of episode that got made, and you're wondering how could a kids show like this have characters cursing like crazy and it still got made. So I am interested in that. And I will say that this episode is an interesting piece of history for Dexter's Laboratory as a whole. So if you're looking for episodes that have like characters acting out of character and you're wondering how the episode got made in the first place, and this is definitely one of those episodes you should check out. So those are my thoughts about Rude Removal, and tell me in the comments down below, have you seen Dexter's Rude Removal? And if you have, did you like the episode? Did you hate the episode? And what are some other shows that have episodes that you thought were kind of out of character for the characters? Please feel free to comment down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is Ravi's Small Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, like this video? Then please feel free to hit that like button. And also, Hit that subscribe button for more animation content from this channel. And now, roll the credits please.